in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
Scott Stigler Afternoons.
I think you may have something here.
On the Talk Monster, 770 KKOB.
Welcome back. Final hour of the Stig Show on 770 KKOB. We are halfway through our first Albuquerque Economic Development Hour. And I want to remind you that every third Thursday of the month, 5:30 to 6:30, we're going to talk about some of the things going on, economic development, attracting new businesses, growing businesses, expansion, some of the good things going on in Albuquerque that you don't necessarily hear in the news every day. And one of the great stories, economic development in this city in a long time, is a company called Lavu. Andy Lim started this company. He went to UNM or CNM and then UNM, got this thing started basically in his own home, and then got the notice of the folks over at AED, and the rest is history. As that company has grown from Andy, and we've got Andy's Chief Revenue Officer, Ohad Jahasi, is in studio with us. When did Andy start the company, and where are we now? I mean,
he literally started the company 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
In his home. Just started programming in his kitchen. Before, Andy was building websites for different clients. There was one client that was just frustrated by their point-of-sale system, which is, back then 5 years ago, point-of-sale systems would mostly process payments. And so Andy wanted to, provide him with this system. And he had heard that the iPad was going to come out. He loved Apple products. And he thought, gee, I think this would be a good time. Perhaps I'll just build it on this, iPad that's about to come out, and I'll build it in the iOS operating system. And so Lavu was one of the very first point-of-sale systems offered through Apple's App Store.
It's a really interesting story. But when you say point of sale, basically what you're talking about is a modern day cash register, right?
It is, but a point of sale does a lot more than just process payments and transactions. It really serves today. It serves as the technology platform for restaurants, and it not only it manages inventory, it takes orders, it manages employee schedules. It does a whole host of things. Okay,
and that is the company that exists here in Albuquerque. We're going to continue to talk about this momentarily. We've got to take a quick break for traffic and weather. But the Lavu story and, where this is headed, growth has been absolutely phenomenal for this company. And, by the way, they're hiring. So if you want to listen up for that, stay tuned. Back in 90 seconds.
6:07 now on News Radio 770 KKOB. Thanks to your generous donations of motor vehicles, Casa Esperanza continues to fund resident stays and support for families facing cancer. Give hope a ride today. Donate your vehicle at casanm.org. Kyle, what's up?
This Right Now Traffic Report is brought to you by MyCleanPC.com. It looks like we are still seeing just a little bit of congestion westbound Alameda as you approach Rio Grande and then on to cross the river. Nothing too bad. It looks like speeds are definitely starting to pick back up throughout there. If you do see a trouble spot, give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. If your computer is running slow, go to MyCleanPC.com and get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that may be slowing down your computer. Increase your computer speed today with MyCleanPC.com. That's MyCleanPC.com. This is Kyle with Right Now Traffic every 10 minutes on the 7s. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Record temperatures across the state yet again today, including the metro with highs in the lower 70s. Tonight, mild again with highs in the 40s. Some high clouds on Friday and still warm with highs up to 70 degrees. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jorge Torres on 770 KKOB.
Right now in Albuquerque, 67 degrees, low tonight 45. Right now in Santa Fe, 57. On News Radio 770 KKOB.
Mark Levin is next at 7. Scott Stigler right now on 770 KKOB.
All right, so our in-studio guest, Gary Tonjes of Albuquerque Economic Development, Ohad Jahasi, the Chief Revenue Officer at Lavu. It is a company that has what we call point of sale based on the iPad for restaurants. Is there, before we get backtracking to expansion and development and those kind of things, is there a possibility that this format could work for other businesses, not just restaurants?
It does. We are singularly focused on restaurants, but it is actually used. Lavu is used by a number of other types of businesses, hotels, entertainment centers, gyms. But, we've really developed our product and our service specifically for restaurants.
Okay. Are you just being careful with that because you just don't want to grow too fast, or?
Well, frankly, the restaurant space is large enough as it is, and we're happy, building something that's very specialized towards the needs of a restaurant owner.
Okay, I want to talk about the growth of this company in this city. Obviously, the reason why Andy started the company here was because he went to school here, but once this thing starts to blossom, he could have taken it anywhere, right?
He could have, but he was able to grow here in Albuquerque, and able to find the talent he needed and the skill set.
Okay, tell me why. Tell me why that has become a reality here in this city.
I guess for a number of reasons. One, I guess the city has just been extremely supportive of the company. There's a benefit to being I laugh in the office and I tell people, we're the Google of Albuquerque. And, we get a lot of attention. Literally, people come to our door, they buzz us and say, hey, I want to drop off my application, or hey, I'd love to talk to someone about working here. We're just overwhelmed with applications and resumes.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is particularly interesting about this company is in the last 8 months, you've grown almost doubled. We were at 35 employees 8 months ago. You're now at 65.
Yes.
And you're looking for how many more?
We'd like to grow. We need to grow further. We're looking for at least another 25 over the next 6 months.
Okay. Gary, hop in here with the microphone. How did you find this company? And once you find a company like this, it's what can we do to foster your growth here in Albuquerque, right?
We first found out about Lavu when a lady in our office, in our research department, was reading the Daily Lobo, UNM Daily Lobo, and there was a story about Andy and this startup company. And she said, this is just really a very cool company. We need to learn more about that. And so we reached out to them. And, one of the things we did for our quarterly luncheons is we brought Andy in to make a presentation to our membership. And we have 550 people in the room, and he just won over everybody. And so that was sort of our path with them. But their growth, their trajectory is not as a result of us. It is that vision, that talent that they've been able to find. We just happened to stumble into it.
All right, but what you've done is now fostered an atmosphere where companies like Lavu and others can prosper and understand that there's great value for them to be here in the city of Albuquerque.
Right. Well, and one of the things that has happened, so we of course want to tell the Lavu story all the time. We did a special section on Albuquerque in Entrepreneur magazine a few years ago, and it's like, what's the message we want to take out? Well, we did a 2-page spread nearly of all of the Lavu employees at the time and talked about this story about what it is that can be achieved in an Albuquerque.
Ohad Jahasi from Lavu and Gary Tonjes, Albuquerque Economic Development, joining us here on 770 KKOB. Ohad, when you look around Albuquerque, what do you see as possibilities? We talk about the incubator and all of the growth that's going on, or at least the ideas that are being fostered here. And I know that part of that is, recognizing companies like yours. But what do you see as the possibility here in Albuquerque that maybe the average citizen doesn't necessarily see or perceive?
It's hard for me to say. I'm relatively new to Albuquerque. I've only been here about 8 months. I come from the East Coast. And so I'm still learning a lot about Albuquerque, learning my way around. So in terms of what's possible, I couldn't tell you exactly at this point.
Do you, how much have you sort of immersed yourself or tried to immerse yourself in the city, and how active is Lavu in doing other things around the city, not just operating the business?
Yeah, I know the company is very active. Andy is exceptionally active, and I know a leader in the community. Unfortunately, I've been working. I've been having my nose to the grindstone, so I've been working exceptionally long hours just trying to grow the company.
Yeah.
I could just throw in that one of the things that Andy has done, Lavu has done, is open their doors when we have hosted other companies that are considering the area. And so Andy is a fabulous spokesperson to say, you should come here. And our recent success, Rural Sourcing Inc., bringing 125 jobs downtown, Andy was one of the voices that made a difference to that company.
Yes, and we do support. For us, we would like to see more of a tech ecosystem. We would benefit from that, and so we've been hosting these tech, meetups at our company.
All right, Ohad Jahasi, Gary Tonjes, our in-studio guest. You can call us here if you want to, 243-3333. Lavu is really a fascinating story. But Gary, I do want to ask, when you have a sort of a superstar company like this, when you got Michael Jordan, you don't sit him on the bench, right? I mean, you kind of tout this story wherever you go all over the country.
We absolutely do. We showcase them in the media efforts that we have when we're hosting people. Andy has always been so gracious, as have the other members of his staff. We'll take in our prospective companies and go over to the Lavu offices, and they've opened up the place and put out spreads of food and had all of their team members there to say, hey, this is a great place. And so they've been instrumental in that regard.
I want you to talk a little bit about the challenges of now expanding. When you go from 35 to 65 in 8 months, that's pretty rapid growth, and that's kind of where your expertise lies. How quickly can you grow? How quickly do you not want to grow? I mean, you got to hold the reins back a little bit?
Yeah, so it has been a challenge. There are challenges. For us, what's been holding back our growth is actually the talent set. So as we've grown larger and faster, we need more and more people. Fortunately or unfortunately, Albuquerque is a smaller city, and so the talent pool isn't as deep as it would be in a larger city. And so now that we're growing and we're competing with world-class competitors, we need highly skilled, very technical talent in certain departments, in certain groups. So now we've had a challenge finding iOS developers. Albuquerque isn't necessarily a place where you'd see a lot of iOS developers. Of course, you're going to see them in the Valley, you'll see them in New York and in other cities. But we need those people here. So we're looking outside of, we've tapped out the market, we think, just about for these types of developers, these back-end developers. We need more designers. We need a user interface, user experience designer. We need more digital marketers. Again, it's not necessarily a place where you're going to find many of these people here in Albuquerque. So we're going outside of the city, and we're actively recruiting them so that they would come to Albuquerque and work with us here at headquarters.
All right, and how are things going at headquarters? I mean, do you go in every day and go, man, this is just a great place to work?
I do, and we're growing like a weed. We keep expanding, new faces all the time. It's great. It's also a little unnerving, that we're just growing so fast. And, I just want to make sure that we just are able to kind of, stay in control of all that growth.
It can happen here, can it?
It sure can.
Well, it is happening.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It is happening here. All right, quick break here. Back our final segment with Gary Tonjes and Ohad Jahasi from Lavu when we continue.
6:17 now on News Radio 770 KKOB. Your pet can't brush its own teeth, but many diseases and infections are due to poor oral health. The experts at Clark's Pet Emporium can help with the products and advice to keep your pet healthy and happy. New Mexico's own Clark's Pet Emporium on Lomas west of San Mateo and all at Montebo, and at clarkspets.com. Kyle, what's happening?
This Right Now traffic report is brought to you by mycleanpc.com. It is still looking really good out on the roads. It does not look like we have any accidents at this time to report. Still seeing just a little bit of congestion westbound Montano as you cross the river. Expect some very minor delays throughout there. Also, it looks like southbound Highway 47, we are starting to see some pretty heavy traffic as you approach South Bosque Loop. If you do see a trouble spot, give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. If your computer is running slow, go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that may be slowing down your computer. Increase your computer speed today with mycleanpc.com. That's mycleanpc.com. This is Kyle with Right Now Traffic every 10 minutes on the 7s. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Currently in Albuquerque, 67 degrees, low tonight 45. Right now in Santa Fe, 57. On News Radio 770 KKOB.
Scott Stigler Afternoons. Find more talk on our talk partner, 1050 KTBL. You can go back and forth. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Oh, great Odin's Raven.
770 KKOB.
Well, I love telling the My Pillow story because when we started using the My Pillow, my wife and I, almost a year ago, we thought we would, be able to talk about this for a couple of months, and then the campaign would run out, and then we found out that more and more and more of you were having some of the same kind of issues that we were having. I was a snorer; she was waking up with pain in her neck and shoulder. We both started using the My Pillow, the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. Her neck and shoulder pain went away, and my snoring went away. That's a win-win, folks. If you're not sleeping well, I urge you to try this pillow made with patented interlocking fill, adjust to your individual sleep needs. If you're a snorer, it helps there. If you have neck and shoulder pain, it helps there. If you just don't sleep well, that can help you as well. So if you want to sleep better, stop snoring, wake up with no neck pain, give it a try. MyPillow.com. You get a buy one, get one free if you enter the promo code STIG, S-T-I-G. Or you can call 800-724-9805. MyPillow also has a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee to eliminate any risk that you might feel. You say, well, it might have worked for you, Scott, but it might not work for me. Yeah, well, give it a try for 60 days. You don't like it, send it back for a full refund. The MyPillow can be your pillow. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code STIG, or call 800-724-9805. It's buy one and get one free.
Well, I didn't know we needed them, but evidently we did because Apple gave it to us. I'm Giff, and this is Tech Trends. That's always been Apple's way. Give the consumer what they don't know they need. And evidently, we needed new emojis, or should I just say more emojis. If you update to iOS 8.3, you're going to get them whether you want them or not. Now, guaranteed, some of these emojis are going to make people very uncomfortable, so to let you know that there are new types of families as emojis. Male emojis kissing other male emojis, female emojis kissing female emojis. It's going to be new flags and a new skin tone option for many of the emojis. The default color for every one of them is going to be yellow, but if you want to change it to something else, all you do is hold your finger over the emoji and then the menu of colors will pop up. It's a diverse world, and now our emojis are reflecting that. And that's Tech Trends today. Good luck out there.
Data transfer complete.
And Tech Trends is brought to you by National Association of Realtors. Realtor.com is the most accurate home search site. Be sure to work with a Realtor to help you through the process. Realtor.com and Realtors, together, we make home happen.
You're listening to your official 2016 election station. News Radio 770 KKOB.
All right, final segment of our inaugural Albuquerque Economic Development Hour. We're going to do this every third Thursday of the month. And it's brought to you by Richardson & Richardson Construction, general contractor since 1950, online at headache-freeconstruction.com. Richardson & Richardson Construction, our AED sponsor. Gary Tonjes from Albuquerque Economic Development, the president, and in studio with us as well as Ohad Jahasi, the chief revenue officer of LAVU. You are hiring, and it is LAVU, LAVU.com/careers.
That's right.
All right. And hiring immediately.
Please.
Yeah, please. Now, how many employers, Gary, do we hear in town going, please apply?
Yes.
We need you now. Big announcement for you guys today. You're working now with PayPal.
We are. We announced that actually, indeed today. And it's really a very transformative deal for us in terms of the revenue that it'll provide for our company. But it's just terrific to be recognized by a company similar to ours. We've really been a disruptor in the point of sale space, and we've been recognized by another disruptor, a very well-known one, PayPal, in the merchant processing space. And so we've joined together, and we're able to offer a fantastic rate and a great set of solutions for restaurant owners.
You're not a competitor then in this circumstance. You're a partner.
We are a partner.
How does that work if you're both?
Well, we provide the technology platform, and all of the payment processing, the transactions are processed by PayPal.
Okay, that's a big name. I think a lot of people recognize that name. Certainly, that means a lot for the company.
It does. The reason PayPal was interested in us is because we're in over 80 countries. We have over 4,000 restaurant customers, and we process billions of dollars in revenue. And companies like PayPal, we're looking at all of that processing, transaction processing revenue, and are very interested, in getting a piece of that.
Now, I just heard something. 80 countries and 4,000 restaurants.
4,000 restaurant clients, many more restaurants.
Right, clients.
Chains use us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so is this kind of pervasive in Albuquerque? Do a lot of people in Albuquerque use you, or is it like, hey, I'm right down the street here, Mr. Restaurant, you ought to use our services?
Well, there are a number of restaurants in Albuquerque that use Lavu, but believe it or not, our penetration is fairly low. And that's because when we first launched, you can imagine when we first launched, there were some growing pains with the software. And at first we thought it might be better to grow, not have so many local customers, having them knock on our door, saying, hey, help us, or, we have a problem with our software.
Now you got it figured out. Now you need to get going locally, right?
Well,
all right. Ken, you are on the air with Ohad and Gary. Go ahead.
Well, I just have a comment. It's interesting to contrast the economic development, which has been so successful for your guests, and contrast that to the spaceport, which has soaked up $200 million of taxpayer money without much results. It's really an endorsement of the market mechanism.
Yeah. All right. So, and Gary, you can talk to that.
Well, our focus really is on Albuquerque metro area and trying to support companies such as Lavu as well as Delta Group. There are so many great stories. There are a lot of programs to be able to support existing industry and those companies we're trying to recruit.
Okay. Ryan, real quickly, you're on with Gary and Ohad. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. A quick question about the Lavu program. What I was wondering is I was a food truck owner that recently transitioned into buying a restaurant. So we're looking to open up here in the next couple weeks. I was previously using Square, but I've had a million offers from tons of different point-of-sale companies like, Square is still trying to keep me cake, so on and so forth. So what's the incentive of going local as to going with one of these other companies that has the lower fees?
All right, Ryan, hang on the line here, and don't hang on the line, but listen to us over the radio. But I got to take a quick break. We'll answer that question and then get you out of here in just a moment. All right, we're up against the traffic, weather, and the news on 770 KKOB. Back with Ohad Jahasi and Gary Tonjes for a final moment here on 770 KKOB.
6:27 right now. Let's get a check on traffic with Kyle.
Things are still looking really good out on the roads. It does not look like we have any accidents to report. If you are heading southbound on Highway 47 in Bosque Farms, in between North Bosque Loop and South Bosque Loop, it looks like we are seeing some very heavy stop-and-go traffic all throughout there. But if you do see a trouble spot, give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. This is Kyle with Right Now Traffic every 10 minutes on the 7s. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Currently in Albuquerque at 67 degrees, low tonight. 45 right now in Santa Fe, 57. On News Radio 770 KKOB.
Stop.
You cannot spend yourself out of a recession.
Rush.
The gloves have to come off.
Limbaugh.
It's time for people to sober up.
The most listened to show in radio history.
I'm really, really worried.
Rush Limbaugh.
By definition, folks, moderates cannot be governed by principle. They can't be. Moderates don't have principles.
Rushing through your radio weekday mornings at 10.
We've never seen this kind of radical leadership.
Rush Limbaugh on The Talk Monster, 770 KKOB.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Any religion that says you can rape a woman because they are less than you is evil. And if you can't say those words, you should not have admittance to the Oval Office.
The Glenn Beck Show, weekday afternoons at 1 on News Radio 77 KKOB.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've messed up your daughter's haircut. Do you A, get spiritual?
Mom, where's the mirror?
Beauty is within. Oh.
B, find the positives?
Less time blow drying, more time texting?
Or C, show empathy?
Mom, you really don't have to.
Twinsies!
I kinda love it. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Number. I'm Mike Gaba, and this is KKOB First News. Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital says that its records are all back up and in good order. This after it paid about $17,000 in ransom to hackers. The CEO of the hospital says reports that $3.5 million had been demanded are false. He says they paid the ransom as requested in Bitcoin. The administrative nightmare, which had hospital staffers reverting to pencil and paper, lasted for 12 days. Kevin Haley, director of Symantec Security Response, says that it only takes one computer user to go to a bad website or download a bad attachment.
Often, though, you'll find that multiple people in an organization will get it because they all get spammed, and a few of them have clicked on it. But once one of them gets clicked on, it will try to move on to other computers, like the network servers, where everybody stores their files, and once they get on there, there's a lot of files, usually important files, that can be held for ransom.
So is testosterone the answer to your low sex drive and energy level problems? Probably not.
I'm Jim Chenevert. A landmark study suggests that testosterone treatments do little to improve the sex lives of older men, and they provide just modest improvement in walking strength and mood. Testosterone supplements are hugely popular, billed as something of a fountain of youth to treat low sex drive, lack of energy, and other age-related problems. Previous studies have suggested that long-term use of testosterone could raise the risk of heart attacks and prostate cancer. Jim Chenevert, CBS News.
And on the final day of the legislative session, New Mexico lawmakers approved a measure increasing penalties for possessing, distributing, or making child pornography. And the vote was unanimous, 40-0 in the Senate and 64-0 in the House. The maximum penalty for possessing child porn will go from 18 months to 10 years in prison. I'm Mike Gaba on your breaking news station, News Radio 770 KKOB.
Back in 2 minutes with the answer to Ryan's question and Votes Notes coming up as well. Stay with us.
You cannot spend yourself out of a recession.
Rush.
The gloves have to come off.
Limbaugh.
It's time for people to sober up.
The most listened to show in radio history.
I'm really worried.
Rush Limbaugh.
By definition, folks, moderates cannot be governed by principle. They can't be. Moderates don't have principles.
Rushing through your radio weekday mornings at 10.
We've never seen this kind of radical leadership.
Rush Limbaugh on The Talk Monster, 770 KKOB.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like
that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B. Get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C. Look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D. Show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information, contact the Adoption Exchange at adoptnmkids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Mark Levin is next at 7. Scott Stigler right now on 770 KKOB.
All right, just our final moments here with Gary Tonjes and Ohad Jahasi. He's the Chief Revenue Officer at Lavu. Ryan called, said he's opening up used to have a truck, and now he's going to open up a restaurant, and was wondering about your point of sale. And by the way, Ryan, if you want to call and get more information, 855-767-5288. 855-767-5288, or if you can't write that down real quickly, just go to lavu.com. The phone number is up in the right-hand corner of the website.
That's right. And I'd love to, hear more about your restaurant. But Lavu, it might not necessarily be your cheapest option. It really depends on how large you are. Square does not charge a monthly fee. We do. Our monthly fee, is generally $59 a month. If you just have a single location, you only need one terminal. So for many people, Square feels cheaper because there is no monthly charge. However, the way they make their money, they have a much higher transaction processing fee, whereas ours is much lower. So if you're slightly large, if you're very small, have very few transactions, and your transaction size is low dollar volume, then Square might be a better option for you. But once you move into the restaurant space, you have a physical restaurant, you're much better off working with a more established point of sale system that's focused on restaurants. And Lavu is 100% focused on restaurants, and we have the fullest feature set available.
All right, so Ryan, give them a call tomorrow, Lavu, LAVU.com. Phone number is up in the top right corner, and they'll love to chat with you. Guys, thanks for coming in, and Gary, we'll see you again next month.
Good, Scott, thank you.
All right. Thanks for being here. All right. 243-3333 or 1-800-460-0770. We'll get to some of your phone calls here in just a moment. But right now we're going to do like a short version of Votes Notes, and then on the other side of the break we'll continue with Votes Notes because we got to get it all in.
Yeah.
It's stuff that people need to know.
Oh, yes. We just got through with one of the biggest candy holidays, Stig, with Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Easter's coming up. Got this from Bruce. Now, Hershey's Kisses are coming out with a carrot cake flavored Hershey's Kiss.
Carrot cake flavored Hershey's Kiss.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
I'd like carrot cake, but only for the icing. So I don't know if I really like carrot cake. I just like the icing part.
Yes, I love the carrot cake icing, but Hershey's Kisses need to be chocolate.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think
kind of defeats the purpose, right?
That's exactly right. All right, more Votes Notes coming up.
6:37 now on News Radio 770 KKOB. Don't miss the DWI public auction featuring over 300 vehicles at Manheim, New Mexico on Broadway. DWI seizure vehicles will sell fast Saturday, February 20th at 10 a.m. Beat the lines and pre-register. Go to Manheim, New Mexico, or call 242-9191 or go online to manheim.com for details. Scott, what's up?
Looks like we are seeing a little bit of congestion east and westbound central in between 8th Street and 2nd Street, but speeds for the most part moving just fine all throughout there. Does not look like we have any accidents at this time to report, but if you do see a trouble spot, give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline, 767-9167. This is Kyle with Right Now Traffic every 10 minutes on the 7s. Now here's your TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling real-time forecast.
Record temperatures across the state yet again today, including the metro with highs in the lower 70s. Tonight, mild again with highs in the 40s. Some high clouds on Friday and still warm with highs up to 70 degrees. From Eyewitness News 4, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jorge Torres on 770 KKOB.
Currently in Albuquerque, 68 degrees on News Radio 770 KKOB.
Everything good for your mind, body, and soul.
The Core.
When Kraft announced